Virginia and Steve from SMART Recovery. It's really nice to welcome you here. SMART Recovery were here last year. They're a feature of the cafe. They're kind of that they make the place nicer. You know, we've got the therapeutic community, the Christian rehab, SMART Recovery, all the different strands, AA, NA, all working together here. It's really nice. It makes for a really nice, big, diverse family. So welcome.
So basically we've heard quite a lot of stories today. What we're going to do is kind of a bit more information kind of based. So, but it's the hope is that, you know, if people's awareness is raised and they have more information, hopefully they can start making changes, and so that their stories and the stories of people they care about can hopefully have happier endings. There's no guarantees, but we find that, you know, people can put into place certain things and they're giving themselves and their loved ones the best chance. Went ahead on its own. So I'm Steve. I've been a SMART Recovery volunteer facilitator for about 5 years now, and I'm also the national coordinator for England. I'm going to give you a little bit of a very short, brief introduction to kind of what SMART's about, and then we're going to talk how we're now moving into the family and friends meetings, and Virginia's going to tell you all about the programme that we're doing there. So, and people heard of SMART Recovery. I know Hussein said that there's some smart people about. We heard Colin this morning talking about SMART. There he is, Colin, thank you very much. So, are many other people sort of aware of what we do at SMART Recovery, or is it a little bit new? Okay, so I'll just tell you briefly about kind of what it is we do. There you go. So, SMART stands for Self-Management and Recovery Training. Hussein was talking this morning about Mark Gilman's phrase, which was the self-work got run riot, and you're sort of moving towards that kind of thing about self-management, isn't it? And in recovery, it's about managing that stuff, managing the way we think, the way we feel, the way we behave, and looking at sort of goals and where we want to move. And SMART is a kind of a learning program. It's a mutual aid. We run mutual aid meetings, but there's some learning to be done there as well. So people sometimes say, well, if it's mutual aid and it's self-management, how does that work? Well, the idea is that people get together and learn from each other and from the program in order to be able to self-manage. So they're not always going to be in a meeting, they're not always going to be close to a meeting, and life goes on, and recovery and reintegration, that moves on. So it's important, we feel, that people can learn some of these skills about how to manage this stuff. So as I said, it's a national, or in fact it's an international network of essentially peer-led mutual aid meetings. It's a secular, science-based kind of practical approach to recovery, and we use tools and techniques from CBT, rational emotive behaviour therapy, motivation interviewing. So these are all kind of evidence-based models, if you like, but they're kind of put forward in a way that people can kind of learn this stuff. So it's a kind of combination between the experts in the field who've got this theory, and also people in recovery who can kind of make that more doable for people in meetings. So there's the tools and techniques there. I think when we get together in meetings, it's kind of like putting a soft grip on the handle of these tools and making them doable for people. They can learn and share these amongst themselves. Oh, right, it's a reveal. Okay, so SMART's been around for 20 years, I mean, in the States, but in this country, most predominantly in the last sort of 4 or 5 years, it's really grown a lot. And just recently we started looking at moving into this family and friends kind of program and meeting. The idea actually first came about in Australia, but the program, as we know, was developed in the States. And it uses the tools and techniques that we use in SMART Recovery, and also some aspects of community reinforcement and family training, which Virginia will be telling you more about in a while. The first online meetings in America were about 4 years ago, and we started meetings, and then the manuals were done over here in 2013. And you started the online meetings nearly a year ago. So we've just had the online meetings on our website since November last year. And And so we're currently now just in the middle of a pilot scheme. So basically we've looked at getting some people on board. So there's about 30 pilot sites across the UK, so completely kind of pretty much covers the whole of the UK. We're trialling this for 6 months. We're about halfway through that now, and that pilot will be over at the end of January. And after that, the programme is open for anyone who wants to get involved. So this will either be service providers doing meetings within their service, or volunteers, people with a lived experience wanting to get together and set up a meeting in their community. And after January, once we've had an evaluation and stuff, and this programme will be ready to roll out in full. Done that bit, good. There's a map, there's some dots on it, and they're kind of, so we've got a fairly even spread. A lot of these people are people that are partners with us already with our normal SMART recovery meetings. So we're trying to kind of spread these out across the country. And as I said, there's about 34 sites that are piloting this. And as I said, it will end in January. We'll have an evaluation, and the lights have gone out, and then the full rollout. Okay, so that's kind of a little tiny bit about what we do at SMART Recovery, where we're moving forward with the family and friends, but to tell you more about the programme itself and how this is working. Because I mean, Virginia's experience has been doing this with Lee Proctor, who was going to be here today, but unfortunately couldn't make it. So we have got Virginia here who's been facilitating these meetings online since November to tell you more about the actual programme, what it's about. So, Virginia.
Okay, thank you. Goodness. Yeah, this is very scary, you were right. We should have green. Thank you, Steve. And I think Steve did very well there going through the slides, as they were a little bit unexpected because they weren't his slides, they were supposed to be for Lee. So there we go. Right, yeah, Steve's saying the programme, let me put my glasses on, otherwise I won't be able to see anything, was developed from the Community Reinforcement and Family Training, which is a evidence-based programme. It was developed by Dr. Robert Myers in the US. He very kindly got involved with us, including it in the SMART Family and Friends. We use obviously parts from that which are relevant, and also tools from the SMART programme. There's some nice people at a meeting. That's exactly what our meetings are like. Unfortunately, we don't see the other people at the current meeting that we do. It's an online meeting. And I do have some information about that if anybody's interested to come along. It would be great, so see us afterwards. So just to tell you a little bit about just how the meetings work. It runs in the same format as a SMART Recovery meeting. So we have a welcome statement. We do a check-in where everybody has an opportunity just to let us know how they've been in the last week and any problems, and also any successes that they've had, which I think is important as well to share with the group. And then from that, we obviously look at anything that comes up from the check-in, and we set an agenda that's agreed within the group for what we're going to look at it says work time there. I always like to refer to it as discussion, because that's basically what it is. Everybody has an opportunity to come in and discuss it, as opposed to be talked at, which I particularly like. That's basically the meeting. There's a pass the hat there, which is for community meetings, because obviously they need to be funded, so you do ask for contributions, so they can contribute if they wish, but there's no pressure. Obviously, if it's if it's part of service, thank you, Steve, if it's part of the service, then obviously that's not needed. And then we have a check-out at the end, which just gives people an opportunity just to let us know how they found the meeting, anything they found useful, and also an opportunity to say, things that they would be doing in the following week, perhaps that they've taken away from the meeting with them. So that's our format. I did say we'd rush through this. Okay, so as Stephen was saying, it's about learning, and it's about learning different ways to deal with the situation that you're in. So there's 14 topics, and there's an example of a few of them up there. I think from that they're reasonably self-explanatory. Change in motivation, obviously being about making changes yourself. That's not the changes for your loved one. One of the things we say in the check-in is there's no guarantees, but we often find that making changes in our behaviour has a positive effect on our loved one. And from my own personal experience, I found that to be very true. But then obviously there's lots of other things, positive communication, avoiding confrontation, healthy boundaries, which are quite often missed, or forgotten about in a relationship where there's addiction involved. In a healthy relationship, that would just be a natural thing. So again, to be able to look at that and set boundaries for your own well-being, it's very much focused on the individual as opposed to the loved one that's in addiction. Disabled enabling, again, very common practice that, we love these people. The reason that, we're trying to get help is because we love them. But often that can involve us perhaps doing too much. And, which in effect is enabling. It's not allowing them to experience the consequences of their behaviour. And, that's very important for their own motivation. So, looking at ways that, we may be enabling and how we can change that. Trust and forgiveness, again, once you're into that period of recovery, it's important that, you put that in the past and that you do build that trust again with your loved one. Yeah, that's pretty much covered sort of work. This morning, one of my participants who comes to my meeting regularly was here. Unfortunately, she couldn't stay. And that was just something that she sent me in the week, which I thought was rather nice, and so I thought I'd put that up there. Just to give people an example of what people say about meetings. But I was talking to some of the guys earlier, and it can be a very lonely place for a lot of these people. To be able to come along to a meeting and be able to know that you're not on your own. There are other people that have walked that path, I think is so important, and that's the joy of peer support. Just a few bits and pieces, a little bit about the Smart Recovery website. Obviously I said we do an online meeting, we have a website. As a community, it works very much in the same sort of vein as Facebook. So you can go on. There's chat rooms and there's a wall and people post things. And there's a specific area for family and friends as well. We post lots of information. There we go. That was that one. And also part of the online is training as well. And it's important to gather as much information as you can. And again, for me, when my husband was in addiction and then later in recovery, I found it really helpful to learn as much as I could about the process that he was going through. So, we have training which you can then go on to train as a facilitator if that's what you're interested to do. And we now also have specific training for family and friends. And again, that's all accessible through our website work. We have a Family and Friends Handbook, which is available to buy online, and up there as well as just a few other books which I found personally really helpful. I actually have copies with me in my lovely Haribo bag over there if anybody wants to have a flip through and have a look afterwards. But there's the Robert Myers book, which is Get Your Loved One Sober, and also some newer publications which are from the CMC, which is Beyond Addiction, which is a fantastic book, and also a couple of short manuals, one for parents and one for partners, which is called the 20-Minute Guide. And basically what it does is encourages you to practice these things for 20 minutes a day and not allow it to be so self-absorbing that that's the only thing that you think about. So I found those very good. So, are you happy? No? Do you want to be happy? No? Keep doing whatever you're doing. I do want to be happy. Then change something. And again, for me, that was, the difference that it made when I changed my behaviour. And also, my own happiness. So there we go, that was very quick, wasn't it? Told you we'd rush through, we're getting back some time. As Steve said, unfortunately Lee couldn't be with us today. She is the lead for the Family and Friends. There's some information, if anybody wants to have more information from Lee, they can contact her or myself, or come and see us online. The only thing I thought I was going to add was, obviously everybody's been talking about their own personal story, and for me, my personal story is a story of success. You know, my husband has been in recovery, is recovered the last 6 years. He's been my inspiration to get involved with SMART Recovery. It was through him that I got involved myself. And I'm so incredibly proud of him, and I do this because, although it's absolutely terrifying, you're so right, this is so scary. I feel so passionate, and you know, to be able to get this out, to be able to help other people in that situation that I was in, which was a very scared and lonely place. And so thank you very much for having us and letting us tell you about it. And of course, my husband is here with me today, supporting me. Thank you very much, Stephen.